Now we have watched the heartbreaking humanitarian crisis unfold in Afghanistan. That country falling back into the hands of the Taliban. President Trump negotiated that transition to the Taliban, but our next guest says it was President Biden who's responsible for one big mistake in all of this. Congressman Van Taylor is a veteran of the Marine Corps who served in Iraq as a captain. He's a Republican who represents Collin County in North Texas. Congressman, it's good to see you again. Let's start off with Afghanistan, obviously. You said the other day in a statement that the disaster in Afghanistan and ensuing insecurity lay squarely on Biden's reckless decisions. Just looking at history here, President Trump obviously is the one that signed the treaty with the Taliban, setting the end of the war effectively. What I haven't heard in the past few days is anyone saying how they would have done this withdrawal any differently.
The planning was atrocious, just terrible. I mean, leaving Bagram Air Force Base in the middle of the night, not even telling the Afghans that we were leaving. Now we need Bagram Air Force Base in the mess that we're in right now. We have more U.S. troops on the ground today in Afghanistan than we did when we tried to pull out, which tells you how badly this has gone. Sadly, this is the worst foreign policy disaster our country has ever faced. This is worse than the Bay of Pigs. It's worse than Saigon. The responsibility for this lays squarely with President Biden because all he had to do was nothing. President Biden had done nothing, not a thing. The Taliban, a terrorist group, would not control Afghanistan, and the region would not be totally destabilized by having a complete power vacuum. The mistake that President Biden has made is this assumption that if America withdraws, no one's going to fill the vacuum. And it was very clear to anybody that looked at it that when America withdrew, the vacuum that we filled would be filled by the Taliban.
Are you advocating, though, for the war to continue, or at least a large military presence to remain?
Well, what's so disastrous about this, Jason, is that you cannot repair the pieces that have been rent asunder here. The disaster that's been created, and that's why it's such a big disaster, is there's not an easy answer at this point. The best we can do is make sure we get every American home. The administration continues to quibble over whether or not they will do that. We need to get every American and every ally out of Afghanistan. And that doesn't mean just if they get to the airport, they get out, because right now, my understanding from talking to Afghans who are living in my district is the Taliban is surrounding the airport. They're blocking Americans from getting to the airport. They're blocking Afghan allies from getting to the airport. And so we have got to take a proactive stance on this and say, we're getting everybody home and we're staying until everybody comes home. As a Marine, I live the creed, leave no man behind. We're not leaving anybody behind.
And as the co-chair of the four-country caucus in Congress, which we have talked about on this program, a group of 25 veterans, Democrat and Republican, you all sent a letter to President Biden on Friday asking him that specifically.
Yes.
Should the U.S. send more troops in, though, in order to get these people out?
We need to put whatever is necessary on the ground to make sure every American and every American ally is safely, gotten out of Afghanistan.
Congressman, as a veteran as well and a member of Congress, I'm curious, at the end of the day, what did the 20-year war in Afghanistan really accomplish for the United States?
Well, we stopped terrorists from being able to train and conduct attacks around the world and against the United States for 20 years. And that was the object. That was the goal. That's what we were that was the most important objective. And that's now gone. Afghanistan is back in business. If you're the Taliban, if you're ISIS, if you're a new terrorist group, you now have a great place to go. And the Taliban will bring you in, and they will help you set up your training camps, and they will conduct terrorist operations against the United States and the rest of the world.
Congressman Taylor, thank you for your service, and we appreciate your time this morning.
Great to be with you.